So we want to look into eTIMS. So basically, the first basic question that you'll ask yourself is, what is eTIMS? So eTIMS is basically a software system that allows our taxpayers to electronically do their invoicing. So that is basically, it is electronic tax invoice management system. That is a software system that allows for our taxpayers to do electronic invoicing conveniently. Let us proceed. So why eTIMS? So these are some of the benefits of eTIMS. One, it is free. You realize that with eTIMS, we have different solutions. We have the simplified solutions. We have the eTIMS online, eTIMS client, and we have the system-to-system integration. So for eTIMS, you realize that as long as for eTIMS client, if you have a device, we install it for you for free. If you are in a service sector, we just onboard you on online. Then once it is approved, you just continue with your invoicing. As the same applies to the simplified solution, that is the eCitizen platform, and even the Star 222 Ash platform, where you just self onboard, and that we say it is for free. Then simplifies the tax returns. You realize that for eTIMS, suppose you are a VAT registered taxpayer. Once you've issued your invoices through the eTIMS and generated the same, when you'll be doing your returns, you just realize that they'll auto-populate. So it simplifies the tax returns. It is flexible. You can use them anywhere, anytime, as long as you have the internet. That is preferably a reliable one. So it also builds compliance. You realize that building compliance in this case is very easy, because we onboard you for free so that you comply with the ETI regulation 2020, and even the tax laws that requires that you should onboard on eTIMS as long as you are in business. Then easy stock control, that is for those who are using system-to-system integration, and even the e-client solutions that have the stock management modules that facilitates or aids you in managing your inventories. Let us proceed. So some of the benefits to our taxpayers: one, adoption of technology. So you realize that with the way our world is heading, and even embracing the e-invoicing, we adopt the technology to ensure that you also don't have issues with maybe manual manually managing your inventories. Then business administrative process, it streamlines the same. You also have the visibility of the business transactions that you do. If you're managing your inventory, you realize that if you do stock in, stock out, you do sales, you'll be able to have the visibility of the same. So it's also faster processing of refunds. You realize that initially we had issues with processing of refunds. And for now, because we have the visibilities of the transactions, it's very simple and easy to process the refunds faster than before. So it also minimizes the electronic tax invoice disputes. So if you sell to someone and there is that visibility, there is ordinarily you'll find that there is a minimum or no disputes on tax invoices. Then it's also improved customer supply relationship. It means that your customer, if you do for them a sale, they are very sure that maybe they'll be able to claim that because it has passed through the electronic system and it is a valid invoice that is recognized by the KRA. Let us proceed. So who should adopt the eTIMS? So in reference to the income tax, section 16A that was introduced by the Finance Act, that is 2023, you realize that it says that everyone in business should be able to onboard the eTIMS, whether you are a VAT registered taxpayer or non-VAT registered taxpayer. So whether you are in border sector, you are in a salon, you have a small business. So we are just saying that all persons or even the entities or institutions that are in business should be able to adopt and onboard on the eTIMS platforms that we have on board. Let us proceed. So we want to look into some of the solutions that we have on board on eTIMS. So I mentioned about the eTIMS simplified solutions that we have on board now, the eCitizen platform that we can access through ecitizen.kra.go.ke. We also have a USSD that is *222#. So a simplified solution simply means that it is self-onboarding. There is nowhere our intervention as KRA officers is required. You just subscribe to the terms and conditions, then you proceed with the invoicing. Then we also have eClients. eClients, we have if you have Android-based devices, that is to say, you have your phone, you have your maybe your PDA or POS, or even you have your tablet, you can be able to install for you eTIMS PayPoint Android. We also have those who have the Windows-based devices. So if you have your desktop, you have your laptop, we'll be able, that is Windows 10 and above, we'll be able to install for you the software that is compatible with your device. We also have a eTIMS online portal. This is majorly for those who are in service sector. Let's say those who are doing maybe consultancies in audit. So we just do application. Then once we've approved, the modules for invoicing will be activated. Then you proceed with the invoicing. We have system-to-system integration. So this is where if you have your billing system, you'd like to integrate it to our eTIMS end, you can do it through self-integration or through a third party. So the third parties whom we have also published on our website, you can liaise with them so that they facilitate you in doing the integration from your end. So this is simply what I've mentioned, the eTIMS simplified solution. It is designed for individuals in business, sole proprietors with minimal transactions. And for now, if you have also a business name, you can be able to switch. We have what we call account switcher on eCitizen, where you can be able to issue the invoice even through incorporating your business names. Then it is accessible through this URL that I mentioned. It is ecitizen.kra.go.ke. So you ensure that you don't just go through the normal eCitizen URL, you follow the URL that we provided. Now, I talked about eTIMS client. So it is a downloadable software designed for our taxpayers who are dealing in goods and or services. So if you are dealing both in goods and services, this is a suitable solution for you. If you are dealing in goods only, it is suitable for you. If you are dealing in even services only and you prefer this solution, it's still suitable for you. So this is accessible on the Windows and Android-based devices. So we have single users or multiple users where for multiple users, you have to create additional branches so that you have multiple users under one PIN. So you can install the same I talked about laptop. Laptop must be Windows 10 and above, or even your desktop. So if you have Android-based devices like the phone, it has to be Android version 8 and above, tablet as well, and even the PDA or the POS. So these are some of the devices that are compatible with the solutions that we have that falls under the eClient. We have eTIMS online portal. So as I talked about it, it is suitable for taxpayers in the service industrial service sector exclusively. So where no goods are supplied, it is very suitable for our taxpayers in that service sector. So I said it is a web-based application accessible through a browser. So as long as you have a browser, you have an internet, preferably a reliable one, you just Google etims.kra.go.ke. Then you do sign up, you log in, you do a service request, we approve. Then when you log out, you log in again, you'll find that the modules that will aid you in doing invoicing shall have been activated. Then lastly, I mentioned about the system-to-system integration. So allows for a seamless integration between our taxpayers invoicing or the ERPs that you have, and even the eTIM side. So what happens is that you can do this through self-integration and even through third party. So for third party, those who would like to be integrated for, you can liaise with the approved third-party integrators that we have published on our website. You just go to our website, www.kra.go.ke, under publications. If you search for the approved third-party integrators, you'll be able to get a list. You liaise, their contacts are detailed there. You can be able to liaise with them so that they help you in integration of your ERPs or even the invoicing or the billing systems. So this is now the eTIMS taxpayer portal. So everything starts with here, whether you, except for the simplified solutions, the ones I said are self-onboarding, and you access them through the platforms I talked about. For eCitizen, it is ecitizen.kra.go.ke, or if you prefer the USSD, you can use the *222#. Then you follow the prompts, you subscribe to the terms and conditions, then you proceed with your invoicing. But now when you want to be installed for the eClient, or you want to do system-to-system integration, you want to be done for system-to-system integration, or you want to onboard on eTIMS online, that is this through this browser, this URL, this is where you start, etims.kra.go.ke. Then what will come out is about, a module where you'll have a sign in and a sign up. So you'll click on a sign up. If you click on a sign up, what will appear on the other module is there is a pop-up tab that will say PIN. It is in red. So what you do is to click on that tab, then it will come to this module now, the one that is showing on your screens. Then what next do? You capture your PIN, then you verify. Once you've verified your PIN, the details of that particular PIN will auto-populate. Then what do? You confirm the number, because what you put is your number ending in what will be visible is the last 3 digits of your phone number, the one that you'll use to receive the OTP. So you can check whether it conforms with the number that you can access, or the number that can receive the OTP or messages. Once you've done that, you will now create a login credential, that is the password. So this password must conform to certain criteria. One, it must have at least, it must be between 12 to 20 characters. Then two, it must have at least one uppercase, at least one lowercase. It must have the special characters. It must have at least a number. So you follow that criteria, Then you send the OTP. Once you've sent the OTP, you now receive the OTP, then you subscribe to the data protection policy that is there. Then you now sign up. Once you've done that, you now go back and now log in. In logging in, you realize that you'll have user ID and the password. The password is the one you created. However, the user ID will be your KRA PIN in uppercase. Once you've done that, you'll be able to log in. And on top, far top of that particular, on the website, you realize that there is a tab with the service request button. So you click on the service request, then you select the eTIMS type. If it is online, if you are in service sector, you'll choose the online one. If it is you are both dealing in goods and services, will require you that will advise you that the solution that are suitable to you are the eClient solutions that I talked about. So you'll have to click on the eClient. Then for eClient, it is an application that has to be installed or a software that has to be installed on those particular devices. So what will be required is the device serial number that you'll have to capture. Then there are two documents that you'll have to upload. One, the ID for the business owner, or if you are in a limited, your companies are limited, you will take the ID of the director whose details are on iTax. Then on the commitment form, acknowledgement commitment form, you will capture the same details of the directors, the director who has provided his or her ID. Then you also indicate the device serial number on that particular form. Then you subscribe to the terms and conditions. You write the date. You write the name who is signing. Then you sign against your name. Then you do a request. So basically, that is what I've explained. You log in, you click on Service Request tab, you select the eTIMS solution, you upload the documents that I've mentioned. If it is a sole proprietor, you'll provide your PIN, your ID, both sides. Ensure that you capture while uploading the ID, you upload both sides of your national ID, if it is alien ID, or if it is a alien ID or even the passport, it must be very clear. Then you'll click the send. Send, it means you are doing now a service request. So from there, we'll do on our side as the KRA officers, we'll be able to do our own internal due diligence from this end. We approve. Once it is approved, that is why we say there is software configuration. If you applied for the eClient, you'll be able to download, you capture your PIN, you capture the branch ID, and then you capture the serial number. When you try to initialize it, will be able to go through successfully. Then you proceed with the invoice generation and transmission to KRA. Hello? Hello? Can you be able? Yeah. Can you be able to? Okay, we can go back a bit, one step, then I start explaining from there. We go backwards one step. So we were talking about, yes. So can you hear me? I hope I'm audible enough now. So this is now the page for sign up. I talked about you counter check your number. So what shows on when you try to verify your PIN, the last 3 digits are the ones that we put as the visible ones. So you'll counter check whether they are yours or not. Then once you've done that, you create the login credentials. So these login credentials are the password you'll use to log in. I said there is a criteria that you have to use to create the same. One, the password must be between 12 to 20 characters. So it must have one special character, one uppercase, one lowercase at least. Then it must have at least one number. Once you've done that, you will send the OTP. Once you've received the OTP, you'll be able to input it. You subscribe to the data protection policy that is there. Then you sign up. So cases where you find the cases where maybe the PIN is new, you can write to us the email that we'll provide at the end of this session, so that we do a data migration to eTIMS so that you can be able to proceed with the signing up and onboarding. So a case also where you find that the number that appears there doesn't match the number that you can access or you have, what you do is you'll change it on iTax, then you send the same to our team support, the email that will provide. We'll be able to effect that so that you can proceed with the onboarding on eTIMS. Now, once you've signed up, you now go back. Then you realize that the page that you are initially, where you have to provide the user ID and the password. So the user ID will be the KRA PIN in uppercase. Then the password is the password we just created while you are signing up. Once you've done that, you log in successfully. Once logged in, you'll click on the service request tab and select the eTIMS solution. So if you are in service sector, you'll find online there. So for online, you'll not be required to capture the device serial number because it is a web-based solution. If you are applying for e-client, those who are dealing in goods and services or goods alone, or you are in service sector and you'd like to have the e-client solution, you'll have to capture the device serial number. Then you will have to upload two documents. One, either the owner's ID. I said it must be both sides of the ID. Then a fully filled acknowledged commitment form with the details of the owner or the director whose ID is provided. Then once filled, you just upload them. Once you've uploaded them, you click on send so that you shall have finalized on the service request. Then what follows will be on our end, where we'll do our due diligence. Then we approve. Once we've approved, you realize that that is where the software configuration now comes in such a way that when you now download the eTIMS client, let's say for Windows, you put the PIN as required, you put the branch ID and the serial number you captured, then you initialize, it will be able to succeed, and you proceed with creating a user that is that will aid you in logging in going forward. Then you just proceed with your invoicing and transmission, the same to KRA. Then once that is done, you'll be able, if you have, we have a number of videos that we've done on how to create invoices that are accessible through the KRA TV on YouTube. We also have user guides. So where can you access these user guides? You just come to KRA, our website, kra.go.ke, under business, eTIMS. You can be able to get the user guides. If you need any information about eTIMS, the frequently asked questions, the types of solutions, if you want to download the one that you applied for and it has been approved, it is also found here. How to onboard, yes. And if you need the user guides as well, they're under the tab that is showing on your screens. So for the non-VAT taxpayers, we are referring to this public notice that was says that Kenya Revenue Authority wishes to remind the public that all the persons carrying on business, including those who are not registered for VAT, the ones we refer to the non-VAT registered taxpayers, are required to electronically generate and transmit their invoices to KRA via the Electronic Tax Invoice Management System, that is the eTIMS, from 1st September 2023 with effect from 1st January 2024. So you realize that any business expenditure not supported by a valid electronic invoice shall not be deductible for income tax purposes for the returns that you'll do in 2025. That will cover the tax period that is from 1st January 2024 to 31st December 2024. So to facilitate business continuity, that is why the KRA allowed for sufficient time for our taxpayers to adjust in their systems and business operations. So KRA wishes to notify the non-VAT registered taxpayer that onboarding to the eTIMS platform will be available up to 31st. So you realize that the deadline is the 31st for 31st this month, that is 31st March 2024. So during the onboarding period, penalties provided in law for failure to issue tax electronic tax invoice will not be imposed on non-VAT registered taxpayers. So once you've onboarded, you'll be required to progressively capture the manually generated invoices and even the receipts issued after 1st January, up to the date of onboarding onto the KRA system. So suppose you onboard today, so the invoices that were manually issued from January 1st to today, you will progressively capture them on the eTIMS so that you'll be able to claim them as deductible expenses in the returns that you'll do, the income tax returns for next year. So that is basically what that public notice says. So if you have issues regarding the eTIMS how to onboard, one, you can walk into any of our KRA offices. You'll be able to get assistance. Then two, you can also get to us as the project team through team support at kra.go.ke. We also have our extension phone numbers that you can be able to contact us through, and we respond. If you have time, you can pass by to our offices, that is JQuat Towers, 8th floor along Kenyatta Avenue, that is in Nairobi. So you'll be able to come to our offices and physically so that we can attend to you as required. So that is all about the presentations we prepared for you.